from the sticks because I live in Aurora and I'm Kent bound, but I do come out occasionally, like to Cleveland Heights.
All right.
I like Cleveland Heights because this is where all the art is. Not only that, the words gleam right here. So I am really happy to be here amongst all of the word people. I was exercising at Life Center Plus in Hudson last night, and I was telling some people about the reading today. They said, oh, when you come in closer to Hudson or Akron, let me know. I said, baby, the words, the art is in Cleveland Heights.
Yeah.
It's not that far away. Coventry, you gotta come here. I've been to Akron. I love to read. I love to write. And my background is art. I've taught school, 7th and 8th grade art. I've substituted in all kinds of subjects, K through 12. Besides that, I enjoy travel. I love Provincetown. I am a fine arts work center person. I get to stay on campus because I know the people. It helps if you've got connections. And I didn't get to go this summer because we had to drive to Florida, pack our daughter up in Tampa, and move her to Chicago. This is what good parents do. So I want to take you on a little journey. And I'm going to start in Paris. I did have a daughter who was studying in Paris for a while, so I had to go visit. That's one of the perks of letting them fly away. I have read at Shakespeare and Company bookstore in Paris a few times and consider it my home away from home. So if you hear a little bit of a lament, it's Paris. It's France. What can I say? This is from my book, A Poet Traveling Incognito. Directions inside the Dom. Follow the curves of riverboats past River Seine. Don't be surprised to see a man move slowly, lifting fingers to sky, tossing Tai Chi blessings and praise the gargoyles of Notre Dame. Stand on kilometer 0, enter through right portal, disregard gawking squatters, step on inlaid black diamonds. Votive candles are only €2 each. Confessionals are free. Notice Pierre André's fine white robe. His smile grants penance. Joan of Arc burned at Rouen, a heretic condemned, rehabilitated under this mosaic sun. No sighting of St. George the Dragon Slayer behind the altar. Adam's stained glass apple faces the risen Christ. I rest on a wooden chair, not smelling the freshly cut yellow snapdragon bouquets behind stone altars. Cameras flash non-stop. Unexhausted students sketch St. Ferdinand, Isabella's Ferdinand, who offered sails to our world. Rose window shadows burst oculus rays into green rubies. Warrior ants scurry cathedral aisles. A woman genuflects, reverent in her scarf-wrapped head. Coins clang, forgiving echoes. The chained exit door is propped ajar. A gentle breeze enters. I clutch my purse against fisted belly. Faithful coins clatter one by one. One dog, one cat enter. That's my Notre Dame. And now I would like to read from my latest chapbook, which I created. I love artistic books, And I found this art in Provincetown, and it's part of me now. So voila, in silence. This is a Japanese stab binding. And I also put together the thread and made it a little thicker with a chain link fence. Well, this poem came about when someone was putting together a little book, and it got me back into death, perhaps, and your last banquet, which comes later. So I want to invite you to let me die in Paris, staring at Picasso, exiled to the second floor library in the old Shakespeare and Company bookstore, a bridge from the Louvre. Or perhaps I shall die on Napoleon's short royal bed, a peble's throw from La Seine. Surely I shall die in Paris consuming fermented house wine, under Auguste Rodin's watchful eye, and Camille Claudel glancing my way, and the Madame staring from her portrait. Never mind sweet express un pain de chocolat. I shall write a note to Pablo Picasso and be catalogued in his third-floor musée, and shred the rooms full of records, and then live under his stone basement. At the boulanger, biting French bread that crumbles from my teeth, baguettes and noir chocolat nibbling my fresh lips. Ah, listen to the French roll their tongues at Café Bastille, watching spring bouquets stroll far and near. So many luscious bites from which to choose. Decisions at Le Pompidou. Outdoor déjeuner with Manet in the nude. Perhaps resurrect bones, Musée bones, through the portals of Notre Dame, surrounded by petit fours. Mais oui. Ah, to live the light in Paris. So that is my little, where I would like to die. And in another poem, I have this huge banquet that starts off at the Picasso Museum. So you'll all be invited to that. And then we go down south to Nice and continue to dance by the Mediterranean stars. So without further ado, I shall go to Le Mer, the sea. A good evening on the beach, white foam, gentle bubbles. The treasure is here, among the shells, even the broken. Night passes, silence lingers in hidden memories. In my other life, I'll return as Le Mer and wash your feet. And this takes me to my newfound treasure island. Luckily, my daughter was in Tampa and doing her internship in clinical psychology, PhD, almost done, not quite. And I found Treasure Island. Yes, there exists a treasure island. It's by St. Pete's. Voila! It's my newfound home. Sea foam under sickle moon. I plot southern trails until Treasure Island sun welcomes me home, bleaching my purple straw hat. I scavenge common shells with wading footprints, while ocean gulls sunbathe and preen splashing tide pools, and sandwich pipers glide on pretzel stick skates. I try to catch the zephyr, the blue sea foam, with salted skin toasted light, I shadow the brown pelican who nose dives for fish-tickling toes several feet away. Dolphin fins slide through stillness like ice thaws water. Hushed waves rock papyrus poems as I slumber in the arms of royal palms. And seagrass, the great egret and heron disappear under bolder waves, ready to spear a fish, tossed like salad, gulping head first. I speak to nocturnal strangers on shore. Their stories roll in the sand, one with wedded plans under fog-filled constellations, like shrouded sheets covering Tommy's face, his patient cocoa labs, warm silica. On the beach, a police car checkmates waves with sterile headlights. I squint against the disturbance, covering shoulders with a towel, sinking sails lower than low, as if molded into a sandcastle fortress that never dissolves. Dampness is fine on shore, don't you think? But not here in Ohio. I scribe under the slivered moon, afraid clouds will filter the spotlight, scrawling faster as my pen sprints with the lines I follow. Welcome to Treasure Island. Now I'm back in Ohio. After long nights, I wait for a glimpse of the fawns from the porch. Moon-kissed sun, wind stirring leaves and light. The trees and shadows grow, whispering softness. Perhaps a wind horse were sprinting toward me in this chair. Each hour I did not spend drawing poems was squandered. This is a response to Robert Bly's After Long Busyness. And now I shall continue back into silence. How I love you, green. Do you love green as much as I do? Ah, mais oui. How I love you, green. 12 dyed squares, bright lollipop prayer flags, one for each hour of remaining summer, hang waving on the porch. Small windhorse reminders. In Provincetown at the Himalayan handicraft shop, Chomo Lama instructs Buddhist teachings. Never throw away prayer flags. Burn their sacredness, she says. Bold yellow squares, green, white, and blue, hover beyond my head, flowing goodness. The leaves begin fall's procession, burning yellow candles through green. Flaming clusters nestle parched branches, waiting for wind's wild pruning. Fare thee well, bright green fluttering stems. A white butterfly flickers an erratic path, taunting autumn solstice with the balance of dove's song. Short sighs inhale summer's acceptance and the promise of next year's abundance. Tomatoes and leafy green basil, earthly gifts from our sun. Distant crows signal a welcome coolness, capturing yesterday's warmth. Teasing September to release her grip, unravel a ball of yarn around the globe. I fold each prayer flag, dusting summer's dryness, and blow wild stallions to the wind. Now on a somber note, I guess saying goodbye to summer and now fall, brings me into some sobriety. My father's hands never labored a farm as did his parents, their parents, and grandparents. His slender pianist fingers never touched piano keys or squeezed a grandchild's arm with nighttime kisses and storybook prayers. Skilled fingers half-hitched, operating room knots, slipping through lives, touched yet untouched. Lou Gehrig claimed coffin ashes, each muscle in atrophy. Marymount walls bear witness. My daughter's nimble violin fingers cavort concerto winds. Off-white sheets cover skeletal shells, stretch captive under Vivaldi's spell. Muscles involuntarily convulse. Avalanche from head to toe. A thunderous applause under shivering snow. I swab his throat for 2 days of breath. Some bed boils never heal. Your left hand points to orange juice. And this is a picture. It was a portrait done in Siberia and was sent to me when I was a wee little one. He was captured by the Russian communists during the end of World War II, and for no reason he was in a lineup and his nose was long and they were shooting them, you know, and they asked him, "What do you do?" And he says, "I'm a physician." So he got to go to Siberia to help others. And that's history. We learn from the past. And now I would like to end on a humorous note. This poem received the first prize at the Akron Art Museum awards. And it's called "Because It Humors Me," after John Beer, the humorist. I make my lover pour consecrated wine on my belly. This teaches me happiness. So I begin my first novella. I wait for the great awakening. Anyway, it's time to make dinner. Boiled chicken bones, pig's feet, a jar of dilled pickles. Last night, Stanley Kunitz and I shared a bottle of naked green tea at the Wellfleet Inn. He was alive then. Stanley declares he wants my ass, but I couldn't tell whether we were talking or if he was reading to the whale, so I told him off. Rilke lives. He wore suspenders without socks and only spoke pig Latin. My lips still twitch to repeat it. The publisher calls, collect, to complain. We're waiting for your operetta, but it's not midnight, I say. You can't depend upon teachers or cars. And I was only pretending to breathe. Once at the Metro Parks, I lay nude, bathed in leaves, up to my hair and chin. At the office, my glass slippers waltz with the cooler. Around the house, I vacuum wearing cellophane, a shag rug, and boogie with the shades drawn high. Anyway, it's time to fix breakfast. Chateaubriand for 2, fried ice cream, 7-grain bread on buttered pickles. A month ago, Olga Bromus and I shared a pint of Great Lakes ale at Bubala's on Commercial Street. Olga confessed, "My eyes close under your nipples, cloning them. Sea level rises to heart level. I only keep this voice to give to you. But I couldn't tell whether we were talking or if she was reading a poem, so I told her off. Sylvia Plath lives. She only wore a blue smile and smoked in French. My bones still ache to think it. I make my lover loosen his grip. This teaches me patience. So I continue the next character in my novella. I can't wait for the great awakening. The Falmouth Clam Shack called today. Where are the clams? We can't make chowder. But I don't know how to dig for clams. Open the can. This is the 21st, 2nd century. Around the house, books, black pens, paper, mold grows. Anyway, it's time to fix lunch. Lavender trail mix, pickled borscht, light sour cream. A year ago, Major Reagan and I split a fifth of Jameson's at Cicconi's Bar and Grill. It's in Kent. Mage said, "The world is so brilliant, the perceiver fades. Human recognition is against fading. A poem is not knowing." But I couldn't tell whether we were chatting or he was reciting a poem, so I told him off. Rumi lives. He wore chow mein noodles and spoke in Braille. My tongue still hungers so, my fingers ache. Around the house, toilets leak. I make my husband turn off the water when I bathe. This teaches me thrift. So I finished the final chapter of my novella. I cannot wait for the great awakening. I am here.